Father, without faith, O God of creation, grant our request. Help us to build a nation where no man is oppressed, and so with peace and plenty, Nigeria may be blessed.
Of our national anthem, please.
Ayé ilé ọ̀fà o, ìyẹ̀rú ọ̀kín ọmọ àbí ọ̀fà, ilé ọ̀la lọ́mí ọmọ àbí ọ̀fà, nínú ànámọ́, kúkúrúkú ṣeré pẹ̀lú lórí ìdánámọ́ ọ̀fà o. Ayé ilé ọ̀fà o, bí mo bá wáyé nígbà èdèdè, ìbá wáyé nígbà ẹgbẹ̀fà, ọ̀la lọ ní bàbá mi ní òtún níbí, ní òtún níbí o, ní òtún níbí, ọ̀la lọ ní bàbá mi ní òtún níbí.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Ìdí àpàtẹ́wọ́ fúnra wa. Ẹ ṣe. Distinguished chairman of today's occasion, Alhaji Ayotunde, former chairman of OFFA local government, ably represented here today by another chairman of OFFA local government, our own dear Honorable Jare Olatundu. Once again, you're welcome. Our distinguished guest lecturer of today has been patiently waiting. Like I told you, we are blessed in OFFA. OFFA Ari Munyagan, our own pride, a scholar par excellence. Ladies and gentlemen, permit me to formally introduce to you the man who will be anchoring today's program, who will be giving us the food to take home, to reflect on in today's we have one of our recipients, Alhaji Shaye, working in majestically. Please, can we rise up and give him a round of applause? Baba. Can we be seated, please? Before that, new trend, no. I was going to introduce the guest lecturer of today in person of Emeritus Professor Àkànjí. Can we please give him a round of applause, please? Thank you very much. Again, I'd like to introduce to you formally, I've mentioned his name earlier, one of our recipients, Baba, I think he's trying to get his visitors seated appropriately. I was going to introduce our own father and recipient of today, Àkànjí Senior Jala. Please, can we give him a round of applause? Another distinguished recipient who has been part of us, who has been an in-house, maybe I'll call him a technical advisor of Galaxy CLIQUE, who is most deserving of an award today. There's no other person other than Alhaji Mansour El Bilal Giwa. Can we please give him a round of applause? Having done this introduction, if we check the brochure of today, we will see on item 2, opening prayers. Let us commence today's activity for Almighty Allah. Permit me to call on Professor Bello Shitu of Al-Hikmah University to lead us in prayer, please.
Bàbá ti na mic sí wọn nísàlẹ̀ fún ìsopé méjì.
Wọ́n kí gbogbo olùkó àdúrà ni wọ́n ní kí n ṣe, ṣùgbọ́n mo fẹ́ fi àsìkò yìí kò tí ìdí máa ṣàdúrà, mo fẹ́ fi dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run ni lórí lábá gbogbo ètò Ọlọ́run ti ṣe fún Ọ̀fà láti fún fẹ́ kó máa ṣe pẹ̀lú tó tún máa tó ṣe fún wa. Àkọ́kọ́ dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ rẹ̀ fún gbogbo ètò ti ṣe síwájú. Ọ̀fà ìlú pẹ̀lú ní Ọlọ́run dúró tí irú àwọn emeritus Professor Àkànjí jáde ọ̀rọ̀ tó ṣe olówó sọ yẹn. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ bá nígbà kan tí a ń ṣe méjì náà wà professors ọmọ Ọ̀fà 177 professors náà kà ní ọmọ 177 pẹ̀lú kò sí irú ìmọ̀ tó wà láyé náà ní ọmọ Ọ̀fà tó jẹ́ professor ní ọ̀nà yẹn. Ọjọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ ti gbàdúrà wa lọ́wọ́ ọ̀sẹ̀ ọ̀kẹ́ta láti ní dúpẹ́ ọdún máa ṣẹ́gun náà ni má padà lẹ́yìn wa. Ẹni tó bá wo gbogbo àwọn ọmọ wa kan tó kó lè mo sọ pé ní àwọn ọmọ wa tó kó lè ní àwọn lọ́jọ́ lórí ilẹ̀. Ẹ mọ̀ pé Ọlọ́run tó fẹ́ràn Ọ̀fà ó ti jẹ́ kí ẹni ó di àkùkọ. Ọmọ wa kéékèèké níjọ́ mi ẹ̀wọ̀ bí wọ́n ṣe dàdé nílẹ̀ gbogbo wọn ogún wa lórí bí àkójọ tí wọ́n fẹ́ gbà fún Ọlọ́run ìgbé ọ má padà lẹ́yìn wa máa ṣe àṣekún oore fún wa ó sì máa dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ rẹ̀. Thank you. Alright, brother. I got that learn. Please, can we give him another round of applause? You can see the enthusiasm in the Prof. Very, very proud of our engagement. Without wasting much time any longer, like I told you, today is Friday, and we need to just make things go as it's supposed to be. I would like to crave the indulgence of the chairman of today's occasion and the guest lecturer to quickly allow the Galaxy CLIQUE member to introduce themselves in succession as they are seated, so that we can be familiar with them, because they are our children, and their passion for OFFA has always brought them here every year. Ladies and gentlemen, permit me to ask the CLIQUE members to stand up from Alhaji Adeolumo and do their introduction in quick succession, please. Can you stand up and
Good morning. My name is QS Olumo Dahoud Adebayo, FNIQS. I'm the Deputy Director with Federal Capital Development Authority, FCDA.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Kupola Lukman. I'm the chairman of this club. I'm also chairman of Greenbelt Global Fish Limited and Greenbelt Oil and Gas.
That's the chairman of Galaxy CLIQUE itself, Alhaji Lukman Kupola. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Pharmacist Ibrahim Isaac, a businessman.
Pharmacist Ibrahim Isaac from Jos. He's a businessman. Thank you.
Yeah, yes.
Good morning, all. My name is Abdul Rashid Olayinka Shitu. I am an environmentalist. I work for a company called ITS Building Services Nigeria Limited.
And I live in Port Harcourt, Nigeria.
Thank you very much. All the way from Port Harcourt.
Olo, Emma follow.
Good morning, Prof. My name is Abdulrazak Jimo.
Yeah, that only money
My name is Abdulrazak Jimo. I'm a legal practitioner in private practice.
Good morning, all. My name is Shamsuddin Lawa. Ile Suja Idisi.
Ile Suja Idisi, Shamsuddin Lawa.
Yeah, information security consultant.
Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Sharafadin
Ibi.
Tax practitioner.
Tax practitioner based in Lagos. Thank you.
Good morning, all. My name is Ajay Bewaiji, Deputy Commissioner of Police, in charge of anti-fraud section for CID, Alago, Lagos.
Ilebo.
Yeah, Kobe.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Pharmacist Adetayo Adeshina Bashir. I'm the segment head for Airtel Networks Limited. I'm based in Abuja. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everybody. my big daddies and big mummies. My name is Kamal Badamasi Adelibibi. I'm from Ilesa. I'm an health, safety and environmental professional. I practice in the Port Harcourt refinery. Thank you.
Good morning, all. My name is Adebayo Rafi, Assistant Commissioner of Police. I'm the Commandant Police Training School, Oye Akoko, Omoye Olalemi.
Thank you. I think I should introduce myself too, as a member of the CLIQUE. My name is Okunola Adebayo Musba. I am from Ilesa. I am working with the Nigerian Correctional Service. I'm a psychologist. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we are getting to the crux of today, and before the chairman of Galactic CLIQUE's address, I'll just mention those who I can see from afar. I have here representing one of our members who is unavoidably absent here. Yemi Olaboye Itafa, as is popularly known. Yes, I was going to mention my own sister, who is standing in for Yemi Olaboye Itafa, and that is no other person other than Alaja Balogun. Please, can you stand up for recognition, please? She is a retired principal too, so I can see why the itch to be here is in her. Thank you, ma, for coming. I also want to recognize close to Professor Bello Shitu there is Alhaji Usman Jamiu from Ilolilu. Please, can you stand up for recognition? I understand there are members of Zenith Club here. Zenith Club. Okay, thank you very much. Can we know you? Please, can you help me give them microphone for proper introduction? Zenith Club. We are proud to see you again, partnering together in the development of OFFA.
Orúkọ mi ni Mudashiru Alabi, tí mò ń bá àwọn àgbà jẹun ọlọ́mọdé yìí mi lọ́wọ́ nínú Zenith Club, senior legislative brigade ní ọ́fíìsì speaker, ọmọ bíbí ilé olú ọlọ nísàlẹ̀ àgọ́ lọ́fà nínú.
Orúkọ mi ni Àkànjí Ọ̀dàlẹ́kọ̀ọ́ láti ọmọdé àfọmọdé òkìkiri businessman.
Assalamu alaikum. Orúkọ mi ni Alhaji Abdulrazak Mustapha, ọmọ Ilesa ní wà ní Àdìgúnmọ̀ University Ìlọrin. I'm the current president of the club.
Thank you very much.
Ẹ káàárọ̀ gbogbo ilé. Orúkọ mi ni Alhaji Bọ́lá Yusuf, ọmọdé olóyè, ẹni tí ó ń gbé ipò president Zenith Club kalẹ̀ ní àná.
Ẹ ṣeun, ẹ kú dìde, ẹ kú bẹ́ẹ̀ sí yẹ wá sí lónìí, Ọlọ́run yẹ yín náà sí. I think the schools here should be recognized because the theme of today's colloquium As you can see, if you look through our banner, building a successful society on strong heritage and modern education of our case study. We can't be discussing here without representatives of the students, in actual fact. And that's why I'm glad to see those who have found time, despite the fact that they are on holiday, and this is a Yuletide period. The invitation has gone to them quite a long time ago, and they still kept us in mind and worthy enough to find time to come here. Please, can you give them a microphone and let them introduce themselves? It is worthy of that, please. Who does that? Bashir?
No, the school principals. The principal will introduce herself and the school. Yes.
Lórúkọ mi ni Mrs. Ayọ̀tọ́lá láti Ansari College OFFA. Mo wá sí ibi pẹ̀lú àwọn students wa, àwọn mẹ́ta àwọn yòókù náà ṣe ọ̀rẹ́ yìí. Mo kí gbogbo ẹni bàbá mi, ọ̀dá mi, sísà mi gbogbo. Orúkọ mi ni Ọláwé Shakirat Bọ́lá Ọmọlẹ́sà, principal Mọ̀rẹ̀mí High School OFFA pẹ̀lú àwọn students mi.
Any other school principal?
Our schools go Moremi and AUD. Thank you very much. And Olalomi.
Okay. One of you should stand in for Olalomi. Your name, the school?
My name is Okulolash. I'm from Olalomi Comprehensive College, current person.
Thank you. We have introduced members of Galaxy, but I just want to mention that there are some of us that are not here for reasons beyond their control. And we'll just reel out their names for you so that they will know that they've been recognized here too. The General Secretary of Galaxy CLIQUE OFFA is Iwa Abdullaki. He is the Business Development Manager in Avalon International Intercontinental Nigeria Limited, Lagos. Iwa Abdullaki is unavoidably absent. We also have our Assistant General Secretary, Lawal Abdul Fattah. He is based in the United States of America. He is an engineer and is also an healthcare management consultant. He is from Ile-Alaguri. We have Muhyiddin Adebayo Ibrahim Mai. He is from Ile-Olintola. He is a past chairman of this great clique, and he is the founder and CEO of Bami Resources. We also have Olayemi Mutiolaboye Itafa. He is a senior legislative aide to the Senate President from Ile-Ifa. He is unavoidably absent too. We have Alhaji Akeem Oyetunde Omole Kuba. He is into oil and gas consultancy. We have again Bashir Oruka Odewiwo from Ile-Isoke. He's an housing consultant. I think Sharafa Olajideraji will join us. He's from Ile-Adikuku. We also have Ismaila Adetuji Adeshino from Ile-Yarule. He is based in the United Kingdom and is a consultant. in SAP. Okay, so those are the members. Please let's give them a round of applause. They may not be here physically, but I can tell you they are here with us in mind, and their contributions to Galactic CLIQUE cannot be overemphasized. Ladies and gentlemen, the chairman of today's occasion, I am glad to let you know that this event is being streamlined.
Live and direct.
It's being streamlined live and is being watched all over. Our colleagues in the United States and the UK are online and they are seeing what is going on here. Thank you, Odidere, for making this possible. Without much ado, the man who is at the center of this clique, who is pivoting the affair, the nucleus of this clique, will take over the mic from me. He is no other person other than our own indefatigable chairman. Permit me to once again call to the podium the chairman of Galactic CLIQUE of OFFA, Alhaji Popola Lukman. Thank you.
Chairman of this occasion, ably represented, our speaker for today, you are most welcome. Our recipients, gentlemen and ladies, you are most welcome to this occasion. I stand on all existing protocol to go ahead with this. Education is the passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. Knowledge is power. Information is liberating and the premise of progress in every society and in every family. It is also the key to unlocking the golden door of freedom. Heritage, on the other hand, gives us a sense of belonging, identity, and connection to the past, present, and the future. No doubt, the topic of today's colloquium, building a successful society on strong heritage and modern education, is ours and could have come at a better time than now. Galactic CLIQUE, as we are known, are concerned and decisive at contributing to the development of our community. And this time around, we have chosen the path of education as a retrospect to our heritage in order to guide our learning youth population to the path of becoming not just experts in their chosen field, but also revered and accomplished responsible citizens. Our resource person would no doubt do justice to the topic, an expert in the educational system and coming from a background of sound and quality education. Just 3 months ago, our royal father, the OFFA, organized a retreat on strategic development of OFFA, putting together various strata of sons and daughters of OFFA. This couldn't have been possible without having our people who have garnered exposure to education and good cultural upbringing over the years to provide solutions to our various challenges in OFFA. As a club, our goal is to ensure that our youth benefit from every of our programs. The reason we have invited various guests with deep knowledge in education, as well as student bodies and students themselves, to benefit from this all-important topic. I am glad to report that our club activities over the years have continued to generate interest and attract distinguished members of our community who are desirous to be part of us and make a significant contribution to the development of our community. It's not what to say we are not relenting on our focus, and to say the sky is a starting point for us at pursuing our purpose. At this juncture, I would like to appreciate our royal father, the Offa of OFFA, as well as our invited guests and everyone present here today. We are grateful for your attendance when you could have been in other places. We sincerely appreciate your support to our club over the years. The goodwill our club enjoyed, no doubt, helped in taking our thoughts far. Thank you. Lastly, I will not conclude without appreciating our members who are resolute and committed to ensuring the success of this great clique. Your effort might seem insignificant, but it's not unnoticed, and you certainly are buying a place for yourself in the honor of this great community. Thank you all. Thank you everyone.
Thank you very much. Our own chairman, and a lot of chairman here. We have the chairman of today's occasion. We also have our own Galaxy chairman, who is pivoting the affairs of Galaxy CLIQUE. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Next on the program is the colloquium's chairman remark, and that is no other person other than myself. And I will just make these brief remarks without much ado. Distinguished chairman of today's occasion, the guest lecturer of today, our amiable award recipients, very distinguished invitees, ladies and gentlemen, the colloquium of today happens to be the 6th of its kind in succession. There have been past activities that has been championed by this Galaxy CLIQUE. The first edition of the colloquium the topic was OFFA in Yoruba history, and the lecture was delivered by Chief Ayo Padokun. The second was delivered by Dr. Wahab Shitu-San, and the topic then was the concept of Omolabi as a case study. We also have topics like managing post-COVID-19 during the COVID period, which was delivered by Professor Wahid Olatiwo. Others that have come in succession with topics like emerging trends and insecurity by a panel of security experts. I can recall ABM Balogun, Kolelolaju, and AIG of Balogun in this hall, doing us, taking us through the effect of drugs. We also have Buba Marwa, the DG of NDLEA, that came to grace the colloquium here, and he spoke about drug abuse and insecurity. Last year, our topic was on the burden of kidney disease in Nigeria, and the lecture was delivered by Professor Timothy Olarewaju. And the fallout of all this has been tremendous activities by Galaxy CLIQUE some of which were the donation of security vehicles and the establishment of rehabilitation center at General Hospital of Accra. However, today's colloquium, I must say, I feel extremely delighted and grateful to God for making today a reality, despite all the myriads of vicissitudes that has plagued the country in recent times. You will agree with me that a lot of people cannot travel due to the insecurity that has been the menace in our society. But suffice today to say that we are, all of us here are able to make this occasion. We thank Almighty God. Kwara South has been hitherto, which has been hitherto known for peace and tranquility, is also witnessing its own share of terrorism. But we thank God, with the intervention of His Excellency, Governor Abdulrahman Abdulrazak, and the various chairmen of local governments, the insecurity in Kwara South has been nipped in the bud, and we hope it is going to be sustained. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, today's topic of presentation, building a strong society on strong heritage and modern education, of as a case study, is not just timely but apt, considering the monumental indiscipline, laziness, parental failures, and indeed some parents collaborating with their children in committing crimes within the four walls of the schools. The quick money syndrome that has characterized our society now. You hear Yahoo Yahoo, you hear scam, you hear internet fraud amongst the youth of today. All these are menaces that has contributed to educational fallout. And this is the reason why CLIQUE members have combed the nooks and crannies of our society to get an astute, prolific scholar and intelligentsia in the person of the emeritus Professor Àkànjí past to do the dissection and feed us with the role of the society in shaping the life of the youth and its citizen. I will therefore not bore you with any rhetorics. You will be served. You will be served a la carte, fresh and bony, by today's guest lecturer. The takeaway from today's lecture, ladies and gentlemen, will be our focus at the Galactic CLIQUE, as it is our tradition to bring up the community and act in tandem with actualizing the way forward to revamp the already nosediving quality of education in the country. And indeed in OFFA. Let me also mention that the awardees of today have been carefully chosen by Galactic CLIQUE. Their efforts, I must emphasize, in educational pursuit in OFFA, in the lives of the youth of OFFA citizens. Now, those I call youth are now even elders. The contribution of Alhaji Omiaro Shaye and indeed Alhaji Rauf Ajala cannot be overemphasized. And I must say, it is just good that we recognize them now when we can see them physically. Thank you. So gentlemen, I want you to take your seat back and fasten your belt to listen. And let's get it done by our own pride in OFFA. As we will be ushering today Professor Musbah, my namesake. That's why he has always been calling me. You know? Galaxy Clique has afforded me the opportunity to have been rubbing minds with him the last few months. Anytime I get to his office, he say, my namesake, please come. The level of humbleness, you know, cannot be overemphasized. Sometimes they walk me back to my car and I feel shoulder high that I have a pride in such a scholar. Ladies and gentlemen, before I usher in the guest lecturer of today, I've just been informed of one of our brothers who has missed today an event to attend. Permit me to recognize the road Mr. Toro, but that Toro at this evening. Please can you stand up for a Thank you. This is the hallmark of today's activity. Like I told you, it isn't easy to use the dragnet to get a reputable scholar of this magnitude. The first time I called him, he was in Zambia or Malawi. And as he was touching floor in Nigeria, he said, I've seen your calls. And that it is just landing in Nigeria. And he called me back. He gave me an appointment, which I can tell you, he was already waiting for me in his office. OFFA indeed is proud to have emeritus. I hope you know when they call emeritus. That is another lecture for another day. It's a professor of a professor. There's going to be much time for that, but without much ado, permit me to welcome to the podium Professor Àkànjí first for today's lecture. Thank you very much.
Chairman of today's occasion, Chief Ayatollah, ably represented by my brother, former chairman of the local government. Chairman Galaxy Clique, Honorable Sukame Lukman Ubola, members of the Galaxy Clique OFFA, honorees of today, Alhaji Yarosale, Alhaji Adala, and my brother, Honorable Mohammed Diwa. Our children from various secondary schools present, our master of ceremony, my namesake, the technical team, members of the press, both print, electronic, and new media, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I have divided this lecture to various subsections. But as we are told earlier on, today is Friday, and we have an important leg of this occasion to go through, honoring some of our members, some of our community members. So I will speak to the paper, and anybody that is interested in the full paper, you give me your email, I'll send it to you. There is no money in the society, so I cannot bring hard copies. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, preamble. I interrogated the name of this association. How did you come across Galaxy CLIQUE? What is special in the name? This, we are used to make a club, to make an association. What is special? So I interrogated the name. And it formed my preamble. I've always been intrigued by the name of your association, Galaxy CLIQUE, and wondered on what would have brought about such name. When I contacted Oxford Dictionary, I saw Galaxy as a splendid assemblage, especially of famous people. Splendid assemblage coming together of famous people. Or when this term is applied to astronomy, it refers to a collection of stars, and there are billions of such in our galaxy. CLIQUE, in its own case, is said to be an exclusive circle of people with common purpose. CLIQUE, in its own case, is said to be an exclusive circle of people with common purpose. So when I saw your faces this morning, when you introduced yourself, I saw why you choose this name, and it's an appropriate name for you. Galaxy CLIQUE, therefore, can be deduced to indicate a collection of star-studying individuals with common objective. It is therefore not surprising that the group of people constituting membership of this assemblage choose the name that adequately portrays their personages and intention. The fact that this is your 6th annual colloquium is indicative of seriousness with which you view your contribution to your environment. I wish you well. It was therefore with pleasure, great pleasure, that I accepted your invitation to contribute to this year's colloquium, which is designed to be strictly academic, which by tradition is supposed to be the truth on the subject matter, as I see it, without any bias or sentiment whatsoever. Introduction. History teaches us that every society wants to be successful and strives to be successful. Whether or not it will succeed depends on various factors, principal among which are the characteristics of those that establish such society, the rationale for the establishment, and the objective set for it. Society, as used in this context, may be a small group of people, it may be a town, it may be a city-state, or even a country. OFFA was founded about the middle of 14th century by a prince of Oyo Kingdom. It had occupied a number of cities before settling down at its present location. It is therefore safe to hazard the guess that when a group of people move from location to location, it was bounded by love and empathy. It is recorded in various literatures that OFFA indigenes over the centuries had been hardworking and strive for personal and community progress. It had also always demonstrated communal spirit. In all the wars that it was involved with, OFFA people had always been loyal to any side it supported. Right from its founding, it had always been a foremost town. There was no period in recorded history when OFFA was consigned to a subordinate role among the towns and villages in its environment. It will be recollected that OFFA was the headquarters of Oyo Kingdom, which stretched to Osogbo, Ede, Iwo, and Igboland land. The resilience of OFFA was demonstrated by its ability to return to the present site after it was sacked by the Running War in 1886, and after the return to the present site in 1902. The character had therefore been passed from generation to generation, and that is what heritage is about. The character that I've enumerated has been passed from generation from the middle of 14th century, that's 1350s, to the present day. The character has been passed from generation to generation, and it defines the typical of a spirit. What then are the characteristics? Because I took the important words in the topic you sent to me, one after the other. What are the characteristics of a successful society? The following, among others, are the characteristics of a society. If a society is successful, these that I will mention are part of the successes of characteristics that it must have. One, it must have strong social cohesion, which is brought about by unity, trust, and cooperation among diverse interests. My interest will be different from your interest, different from his interest, but there must be cooperation between varied interests. This will consequently result in high crime rate, a low crime rate, low or minimal corruption, and mutual respect among inhabitants. Number two, good governance. Governance is not when you have president, you have governor. Governance in the local system. We have ward heads, we have bailies, we have ward heads, we have OFFA. Good governance, which is characterized by transparency, accountability, and efficient institutions, observance of rule of law, fair justice system, and citizen participation. Number three, economic stability and growth, as espoused by diverse, innovative economy with jobs and opportunities, access to basic services like healthcare, education, and housing. 4. Quality education, as shown by virtually free, inclusive, and high-standard schooling, lifelong learning, and skill development for everybody. Healthcare access. Number 5, as indicated by universal or affordable healthcare, focus on preventive care, maternal and child care, because children are inheritors of tomorrow. Maternal and child care and mental health. Mental health. This is very important. 2 weeks ago, we were with NDLA headquarters in Abuja. I headed the federal government committee that looked at how our children are abusing cannabis, hemp. Today is giving government serious concern. When you move through cities, when you travel through towns, you see the number of young men and women. It used to be men, it's like young men and women who have abused cannabis. That is them. And some governments are insisting that cannabis should be legalized so that it can make dollars. Number 6, infrastructure and technology. As in reliable roads, availability of energy, access to internet, public transport, investment in technology for future growth. Number 7, environmental sustainability, as in clean energy, conservation and climate action, sustainable urban planning and waste management. Number 8, cultural vibrancy, as the celebration of arts, heritage and diversity, freedom of expression and open dialogue. Number 9, social safety nets, as a support system for the vulnerables, that is elderly, disabled, and the unemployed. Welfare program and poverty reduction initiatives. And number 10, global cooperation, as a peaceful conflict resolution and humanitarian efforts, active participation in community initiatives. I've listed them. Some of them we cannot expect our fathers, our forefathers, to have them because they are modern thinking. But we are looking back, we are looking to the future. Then I interrogated heritage. Strong heritage is the glue, that is like strong gum that holds the community together, giving people a sense of belonging and continuity, even as the world changes around them. The world changes, things are changing, technology is coming, but there are basic things that are inherent in the community that will be passed from generation to generation. We'll see how such things are lacking now. How such things break down. Heritage is all about tradition of a community, which is passed down through generations. This includes tradition, culture, language, values, and history that shape who a people are and keep them connected over generations. The following are characteristics of heritage. 1. Cultural identity of our people. This is their culture. Of our people, this is their culture. We don't mimic other people's culture. History and legacy, values and beliefs. In the past, you can leave your door during hot season. You leave your window open. You will be sleeping. Nobody will touch the property. Today, even if you close your window, people will invade your privacy to steal the property. I used to tell my children, I bought my first car in 1977. I was in Jos. We leave Jos at about 9:15 when we want to come home. We leave Jos 9:15 p.m. We pass through Akwanga, Lafia. You know this kerosene thing, this one thing. A fuel that fill that place is 5 naira. So what if you take, you will not see anybody there. If you take 2 things, you put 10 naira and put a stone on top of it for the owner tomorrow. If you try, even if you are there now, they will steal you and steal the money. And that is breakdown of culture, breakdown of trustworthiness, preservation, community pride. I am for that is community pride. If you see, I was in Gambia, as our MC said, and you know this of account. Anytime I go out of Nigeria, I put on my account. One man approached me. Excuse me, sir, are you from OFFA? I said, yes. He was so happy. He took me out that night. He took me out for dinner that night. He was so happy. Cultural identity. Community pride. He was proud that he saw his brother who is from the same place as him. In the past, if you have FFA, any member you use it, and you have a breakdown along the major way, this FFA, they will stop. What is your problem and help you. In the past, not in the present. I now put together some historical facts about OFFA. Some of us will be familiar, but just for the importance of what we want to discuss, I put some facts together. OFFA, like any other town in the south of Nigeria, has had a steady population growth from a modest population estimate of about 19,800 at independence in 1960. Our population estimate in 1960, when Nigeria was working to independence, was 19,800. The town is now estimated to be home to approximately 114,000 by 2025. This estimate, which represents an average growth rate of about 7.32% per annum, is, to my own mind, far below actual growth rate. This probably did not take their own figure, 1,400,000, probably did not take into consideration the rapid increase in the number of tertiary educational institutions with its attendant population migration from various places and the phenomenal growth that successful commercial activity in OFFA attracts people in the past 3 decades. When you have educational institution in the place, especially tertiary institution, people from various places come to be additional to your city. And that's what I think the population estimate given to us now is not likely to be correct. Census have been politicized. Because some people want to keep you down, and they are in authority, they underestimate your population. When one looks back to the beginning of the 28th century, when Oba Adebowale Atolo Itele returned to OFFA, that was in 1902, after the Ilorin War, the spirit of togetherness which permeated the town was remarkable. As a result of the dispersal of the citizens following the sacking of the town, those who came back took themselves as brothers and sisters, and communal spirit was very, very high. I am better than you, I want to assist you. Just like what Malam told us, what happened to Mecca when we go to Medina. I am better than you, let me assist you. When our people from Ghana were sent packing by Busia, we saw communal spirit then. Because they've left Nigeria for a very long time, they don't even, some of them do not even know their houses. When they came, they were housed in the central mosque. And people would just come. You just tell them the story there, one father. Some people you don't know, you take them to your houses. Because you are from OFFA. I must help you. They took themselves as brothers and sisters, and communal spirit was very high. This was the template that prevailed, which probably served as an elixir that gave birth to the formation of the Central Union in 1935, mainly by our sons. When I wrote this for our sons, sometime in 1935, I was now referring to our sons. So I took umbrage, protection from people that are attending this lecture, to call people who were adults in 1935 our sons. So it's of our sons that settled in the Lagos colony. Then, because we are talking of education, I had a section on the development of educational institutions in OFFA. Before the beginning of the 20th century, there's no record of any of our son or daughter who had been exposed to what is today known as Western education. In fact, what can be referred to as Western education itself was introduced to Nigeria. Western education, what we call Western education, was introduced to Nigeria by Christian missionaries, Wesleyan mission, which metamorphosed to Methodist Church around 1842, with the sole aim to take the reason why they introduced education to Nigeria is to train messengers, lay readers in churches, shopkeepers, and interpreters. These are Oyinbos. They want to discuss with you. They needed interpreters. And if you have listened to interpretation by people, especially when native authority calls online, you will laugh. Because if you understand the parallel, what they will say will be different from what the interpreter is saying. So everybody over generations, over the centuries, know the importance of education, of language interpretation. When I went on my first Hajj in 2006, I was busy at Àkànjí University. We inherited an Islamic institution when we were starting. So all what they know is Arabic. We that are coming, all we know is English. And NUC, our regulator, is English. So I told them, you want us to sack you? No, don't sack us. You must learn English. The late Dr. Omrosho, the God grant him at General House, I now hired him to be teaching PhD holders ABC English. PhD holders in Arabic who cannot speak English, they take them from Ilekeu to Saudi Arabia, BA, MA, PhD, but they cannot speak. And you are now working in English speaking institution. They reacted. Me, already with MA, with PhD, you are now saying, this man should be teaching us, this is a book, this is a clinical. I insisted. But because of ego, I now say, those of us who do not know Arabic will now be attending Ali Badasa school. They are attending Arabic classes. So they pipe down. Brothers and sisters, it was very successful. So VC, I will be first in class. I will be taking notes. I said that note will help me in the future. So when I went to I have no, if I want to buy anything, I'm now picking, buying this. No, 1, 2, 3, if I want to say 4, I don't know 4 unless I start from 1. So I will say, then I will mention 4. They are there, they were so happy. See this man sweating because he wants to speak Arabic, they will crash the class with him. So I became an expert in our room. Prof, you want to go and buy it? So I'll take my book, I will read book, cloth, buy. You can join, what's the problem? You can say it for, but they will understand. So when Oyinbo came to Nigeria to colonize us, they appreciated the importance of language. So they were training interpreters. And so what they concentrated on, the solemn messengers, lay readers are people who explain Bible passages to literates. The subject taught were mainly alphabets, joining alphabets to form simple words, e.g. A for apple, C for cat, E for elephant. These are what they wanted to teach us. And arithmetic, because of short numbers, mainly additions and subtractions. They did not, British colonial masters did not intend us to be educated. However, as we move towards the middle of 20th century, 1940, 1935, 40, etc., they saw that self-government, India is already revolting. Self-government is imperative. So they have to upgrade us to full-fledged primary school, then secondary school. Everything happening in Lagos area. Coming back home to OFFA, the extension of the railway line, which originated in Lagos in 1898 and reached OFFA in 1912, served as a catalyst to bring in Western education to OFFA. So Western education came to OFFA because of railway line. It should not be forgotten that the primary purpose, Oyibo not like us and give us railway line, they have a purpose to serve them. The primary purpose of the colonial government in establishing the rail line was to ease transportation of goods, especially agricultural goods, from the interior to the coast, from where they were carried to Europe. The staff of railway corporation who were posted to OFFA railway station, mainly from the Ibadan station, reported to OFFA with their families, who were already attending schools in Lagos, Ibadan, Abeokuta. When they got to OFFA, no school. When they got to OFFA, there were no corresponding schools in which such children will continue their education. This served as an impetus for the establishment of St. Mark's Anglican Primary School by the Church Missionary Society of Nigeria, also in 1912. It was considered to be the first primary school in the then Ilorin province of northern Nigeria. It was not only railway workers. No, the purpose was to serve the interest of railway workers. But it was not, say, class 1. How many people will bring class 1? So there are vacancies. And our people took advantage to send their children. But it has a comma. Some of our parents also benefited. Let me start this semester. It was not only the railway workers' children that were attending St. Mark's Primary School. Some, I want to spend 30-40 minutes. Some of our parents also benefited by sending their children to the school. However, a large percentage of the parents were reluctant to do so because one of the important subjects taught them was Christian religious knowledge. And it was feared that attendance at church school would result in the children changing their religion to that of the white man, which is Christianity. This is why our own people delayed or were reluctant to let their children join them. This is also in the Roman land. They rush to join them, and that is why you will see today a Muhammad will be a Christian. You will hear name a Muslim name, strong Muslim name will be a Christian. This is because of Western education, which likely became true as exemplified by common occurrences in the Gomina area of Kwara State. There was rapid expansion of primary school. The rapid expansion in number of primary schools in OFFA was vividly captured by one in a recent paper he delivered at Abuja under the auspices of a descendant union, Abuja branch. In the following, it showed that in the following 20 years, in the subsequent 20 years from 1912, the following primary schools were established by various Christian denominations in quick succession at OFFA. St. Mark's Primary School is said by Anglican Mission, 1912. St. Cyprian Primary School by Catholic Church, Cyprian. In fact, we used to call it Cyprian. It was when I was writing this paper. I know that it's not Cyprian. It's Cyprian Catholic Church in 1921. Ogidiri African School by African Church in 1924. First Baptist Primary School by Baptist Foundation in 1932. And Wesley Methodist Primary School by Methodist Church in 1934. So we now have 5 primary schools. So our people benefited. So when they come back from school, they go to Ileke with serious cane, so that they will not follow the white. Serious cane. Those of us, those of our parents who are living with women, by women I mean with our mothers, for any reason, you know women, you cry, they beat me, they will be hiding you. So most of our generations then did not finish. Is it finished? They did not perfect the Arabic learning because of hiding by their mothers or grandmothers, and because of the king. Because what you are taught in the morning is Christian lost knowledge. They must expunge it from you with king and replace. Distinguished and gentlemen, you'll be surprised that even when I went for HSC 1970-71 at Olivet Baptist High School, I was appointed to a Sunday school teacher because I had A2 what it was Saturday then. In fact, it was then we know Ashwell. It was St. Mass primary school. Ashwell is all these their ceremonies. The rapid increase in number of primary schools between 1912 and 1934 exposed our indigenes to opportunity of acquiring Western education compared to surrounding towns and villages. Because railway did not pass through the Khartoum, Iran, so it helped us at their detriment. In fact, the children from such villages and towns used to come to OFFA daily to attend school. Those of them from far towns like Khartoum and Iran used to come on Mondays very early in the morning. Only God knows when they will leave Iran. And because they will not be late, they will get to school 7:30. Khartoum and Iran used to come on Mondays and went back on Fridays after school hours. This resulted in production. This exercise resulted in production of many graduates of primary schools, graduates of primary education, who were then regarded as highly educated. In fact, those who had primary school certificates up till around 1940s were regarded as being highly educated, and this town cannot contain them again. They migrated to Lagos because of their education. So this town is too small for them. So most of them are going to Ibadan and Lagos to get jobs in big trading companies and government establishments. It was then easy for such people to take their children, such people that migrated, so their children had any advantage to get post-primary education. People to take advantage of those cities for secondary education for their children. Only very few who are children of our progenitors, who resided mainly in Lagos and Ibadan, who by then were exposed to the fact that there was need to proceed to primary school is not highly educated because people there, Lagos and Abeokuta, people in Lagos and Abeokuta, they are already educated, so they know the importance of education. So, but because our people migrated there, they took advantage. Your father say yes. You see, as an educated person, and they saw somebody with secondary school, being their oga, you too. They were now training their children in secondary school. Only very few who are children of our progenitors who resided mainly in Lagos. Please, can you hear me? Yes. Who resided mainly in Lagos and Ibadan. Because we start mentioning Lagos, Ibadan, it's because of railway line. All activities are along the track. Who by then, those Ogbonshop people migrate to OFFA, Ilorin, when railway line reached Jeba, so that they will get advantage. Many of them claim Kwara for further education. Who by then were exposed to the fact that there was need to proceed beyond primary education, send their children to secondary grammar schools located mainly in the then western region. It was this fact that informed of our indigenes, who were mainly residents in Lagos, to conceive the idea of establishing a post-primary institution of a grammar school in 1943. They are Lagos people. They saw what education can do. You come from OFFA as big man, educated man, you go to Lagos, you are nothing. So they now remember their home. So people who were originators of what were Lagos people. Our fathers who are residing in Lagos then, to conceive the idea of establishing a post-primary institution for grammar school in 1943 to cater primarily for products of many primary schools in OFFA. It should also be noted that at this stage, that the primary school were not people by OFFA children alone. There were numerous non-indigenes, mainly children of railway workers who were also attending the schools. By the time OFFA grammar school was established, the railway establishment in OFFA had become very big and served as zonal headquarters that covered areas of jurisdiction from Osogbo to Ilorin. So OFFA is the headquarters. After Ibadan, OFFA is like the zonal, what we call zonal headquarters. And its jurisdiction extends from Osogbo to Ilorin, later to Jeba. So I said the railway establishment of OFFA, by the time of our grammar school was established, the railway establishment in OFFA had become very big and served as zonal headquarters that covered areas of jurisdiction from Osogbo to Ilorin, being the next authoritative section after Ibadan. This was why the early years of the grammar school it catered to students from western and eastern region. We hear the Chukwu because their parents and railway workers that brought them here. After our grammar school in 1943, we had Anglican Teachers College, which was later transferred from OFFA to Ilorin as Bishop and renamed Bishop Smith Memorial College. We had Anglican College of Commerce, St. Clair's Girls Grammar School, Azaldin College, and several others in good succession. At the last count, there are now 20. At the last count, that was a week ago, when I was writing this paper, there are 21 secondary educational institutions in OFFA. Then we move to after secondary school. What next? Then we were moving to 1960. The Oyibos, our colonial master, saw that they had to train us, they had to train Nigerians to take over the job of DOs, resident officers, all these Loki administrative officers. So they set up the Elliott Commission. Elliott Commission now in 1943 now recommended the establishment. It covered West Africa, the establishment of university post-secondary institution in Nigeria and Ghana. That was what gave rise to University College in Ibadan. Because we are not strong, we are not matured enough, we are not educated enough to have a full-fledged university. University College, part of the University of Ibadan. So those who took degree that was in 1948. Those who took degree 50, 60, 59, 60, they are BA London, but they studied in Ghana. The same thing with University of Ghana in Gold Coast. Gold Coast then. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we have our grammar school in 1943, so people are already passing out. But there was no record that any indigenous of OFFA was among the pioneer set of students at Ibadan. was in spite of the fact that by then OFFA had produced at least a university graduate. By 1948, OFFA had produced a graduate in person of Mr. Augustus Bandele Oyedina, father of Professor A.B.O. Oyedina, former Vice Chancellor, University of Ibadan, of Ileologiri. He is from Ileologiri, who was reported to have graduated from University of Durham, United Kingdom, in 1933. So when history of Oyedina, that's Baba Oyedina, was traced, he did not live here. He has been exported to Ilesha, Ibadan, all those areas. So you were exposed to education. So by 1933, you already had a graduate. So you expect that there will be succession of graduates, but there's record did not show that when Ibadan was established, we have somebody from OFFA. Our children who are now finishing secondary school attended post. I cannot say I'm confident now to say our children went to post secondary school institution in Ibadan. And when Elliott Commission recommended University of Ibadan, 1960 was already on us. The need, Ibadan is not producing enough people to man the opportunities that open. So they set up Ashby Commission in 1959. Ashby Commission now recommended the regional universities to have the Ile-Ife, Zaria, Nsukka, and another one in Lagos as federal institution. That's University of Ife, Ahmadu Bello University, University of Nigeria, Nsukka, and University of Lagos. And for university, and Kaduna Polytechnic, and Kaduna for Polytechnic Education, and much later, Kwara State College of Technology and Technology. During all these phases of development, OFFA was an ordered society. OFFA was an order. When you say order, you know that I'm older than this man. If I give you, stand up there, you stand up. Bring that chair, you bring it. OFFA was ordered. We follow order. We respect age. We do not live up. If it's richer than me, you follow my order. Because you see that this man with white hair is taller than me. OFFA was ordered. There was respect for elders and other norms of a decent society, as enumerated largely above, especially point number 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, and 9. The one of characteristics of society that have establishment of post-secondary institution. We will all recollect that the federal government approved the siting of tertiary educational institution, the Federal Polytechnic in OFFA in 1992. Since then, the term has attracted other tertiary institutions I listed here, namely Federal Polytechnic in 1992, College of Education in Lemony, because it was owned by us, in 2006, Lens Polytechnic OFFA in 2012/16, because when it came in 2012, I don't want to use the word illegal. It was not accredited. It was in 2016, so I wrote 2012/2016 so that I can defend without writing. Graceland Polytechnic OFFA 2013/2018, Summit University OFFA 2015, University of OFFA 2021, Lens University Lebanon 2025. We now have 7 tertiary institutions. It should be noted, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, that not only Federal Polytechnic OFFA is a public institution, while others are privately owned. You know the implication. Then I now have a title, a subtitle, Loss of Innocence. I put innocence, to be innocent. Loss of a lost innocence with arrival of tertiary institutions. What do I mean? The debate as to whether the entrance of Federal Polytechnic OFFA into the educational landscape of the town in 1992 was a blessing or a curse is still being evaluated. Was the coming of Federal Polytechnic OFFA in 1992 a blessing to OFFA? Was it a curse? It is still being evaluated. what is certain, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, is that majority of students who were pioneers of Federal Polytechnic OFFA at inception were drawn largely from Western region and Lagos. The first rector was a staff of a technical college, a secondary institution, before our appointment to head the tertiary institution. They are completely different. That, to my mind, is a mistake by the appointing authority. There was also the importation. Following that, there was importation. Most of our students then, they are from the West and West, Ekiti, Ondo, Edo, and Lagos. That, to my mind, is a mistake by the appointing authority. There was also importation of cultic activities by the early students in that institution. Because that was what was common where they are coming from. To belong, you must belong to a cult. That is their tradition where they are coming from. We don't have that from Kaduna Polytechnic. Because it's our culture, and we are closer to them and closer to this people. Please note that I said it's still being evaluated, meaning that there's no conclusion yet. But I have my own views. There was also importation of political activities by the early students in the tradition of what was common in various tertiary institutions from the west and east of Nigeria then, with its attendant mayhem into the sleepy town. Then you are rearing chicken. No, you don't. There's no problem. Your chicken will come. You don't need to close any door. They will grab your chicken and use it for production. Those who are living in OFFA around 92, 93, 95, go even goat, not only chicken, goat, they take your goat. If you make any grinder, you see them in the with his attendant mayhem in the sleeping town. I call over them sleeping town. These two factors combined resulted in serious pollution of the indigenous. Attitude of one. Now I now come to our daughters. Attitude of our sons and daughters to education today. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, since I became aware that the easiest route to greatness in all its ramifications in contemporary world lie with acquisition of proper Western education. It has been progress and failed all the way for individuals that invariably rub on the collective and the town itself. To go to university became an healthy competition among our sons and daughters. When I entered University of 1982, I heard that OFFA, there's a professorial way from OFFA. We now go to his door. We will, he didn't know also, we didn't see him over. Yes, oh yeah, professorial way. He's from OFFA. As an undergraduate, you are happy. To go to the university became an healthy competition among our sons and daughters. So much so that there is hardly any tertiary institution you will get to in Nigeria today that you will not find an indigenous OFFA as student pursuing the variety of programs. It is with pride that we make noise that by year 20, it was with pride, by year 2020, OFFA as a single town local government is home to more than 100 professors in diverse fields in various universities. I deliberately mention diverse fields and various universities for purposes locally and internationally. In fact, we now have trade-based professional groupings like of our doctors, of our engineers, of our lawyers, of our accountants, and so on and so forth. All these trade-based professionals meet periodically to provide advice and solutions to problems of OFFA based on their expertise. Unfortunately, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, today our children are no longer interested in educational pursuits. They are in a hurry to acquire money. A trend which started to manifest gradually from about 25 years now, where pupils in final year of secondary school, that's SS3, elect to sit either for WAEC or NECO, instead of WAEC and NECO that will give them opportunity for further studies. Some people claim that it is because of money. Some people claim that, some of them, I don't want to do two exams, I'm sure I will pass this, as if the father will be the person that will. We knew this. OFFA Club have a scholarship scheme that has been running for about 25-30 years now. We knew this because when we offer scholarship for you to buy form, the parents will get the money and use it to invest in money. We now say, do we now go and pay? You give us whatever I do with the money is my own. You give me my child. We now tie it. If you pass, see this person, get admission for you. Another, I want you to listen to this, which will have, I said, the exam of either WAEC or NECO, instead of both, which will have brightened their chances of qualification to gain admission to tertiary education institution, with the excuse of lack of food. An observation by the Zenith Club and of our professional ladies circle show that our children prefer to enter holiday market on market days to hawk, that is for girls, or push wheelbarrow for boys. On such days, school attendance are usually targeted. Please, when school resumes, those of you living around, go to our secondary school on holiday day. You will see what I mean. Another pertinent observation is that our children who attend polytechnics and acquire ordinary national diploma, that's OND, are usually reluctant to register for higher national diploma. They prefer to enter only market or any market at all as students. What is their education? Those who are reading, they are not getting work. Why do I supported by their parents? Meanwhile, when work comes, work will ask for certificates. Some people prefer argument to the fact that what of us witnessing is universal, and that such is also obtainable in almost all towns and cities. Okada business, you see our boys like Okada. You see our girls, we have large percentage of single mothers. You know how the ones that identify them, the way they dress. They will wear jeans, 30 jeans, t-shirt, and use one apart to go to church. If you see, most of the people you see like that, they are single mothers. Because Okada riders, people who push barrel, have money to give them on daily basis. It is tragic. Especially when we look back and see what we can use to do. Some people prefer knowing that what we are seeing is universal, is everywhere. And that everything is everywhere before we was established. Everything was everywhere before we have 170 professors. It was not like so. Even Ekiti State that's reputed to have large number of professors, they don't have concentration in a town. Wikipedia, check Guinness Book of Records. OFFA as a town is one town has the largest concentration of experts. It is a sign that society is no longer interested in academics for its sake. My own position has always been that we should imbibe of our spirit as passed to us by our forefathers, who themselves were not educated, but made sacrifices for us to be educated, thereby paving the way by which we can match any community in terms of Western education. It is a very welcome observation that a thing of joy that we now have very many of our brothers who started life as Arabic and Islamic scholars now acquiring Western education. You know their position before now. We now have our fast, classical fast. They now acquire Western education and are now occupying senior academic positions as professors associate professors, and senior lecturers in many universities, not only in Arabic language and literature, but also in law, medicine, and humanities. The civil service I went to do, when I was retiring from the University of Ilorin in 2021, I looked for somebody that will employ, that will replace us. Nowhere. When a university approached me, please, we want a registrar to come from over. A government institution, Prof, we want a lecturer to come from the University of Over. We cannot find it because we want the deputy registrar. We now approach our junior brothers here who are deputy registrar, senior assistant registrar. Please, you are young, cross to the university, they will tell you back a step. If you are principal, they give you senior. If you are deputy, they give you. Because of tomorrow, you tell you that you must go back. We are suffering for it. When I joined University of Ilorin in 1986 as the John 1, I was a very big man where I came from. My toilet has AC to show that I was a very big man. When I came, before you approach my office, when I was a big man in Jos, before you approach my office, you see 3 offices. When I got to Ilorin in 1986, I was managing a corner with the traditional Olympia Cabrera that make noise. So when the man is typing, I cannot concentrate. Those who saw me, you left, but within a short period of time, today they were regretting that they didn't go. Conclusion: the civil service I went to win. The formation of the Senate Union by our forefathers in 1935 was a watershed in communal aggregation for community development. It was what gave back to grammar school as the first community established secondary education institution in the then northern Nigeria. Since then, the community has not stopped. A number of developmental projects have been championed by the ODU. In fact, the effort was not limited to ODU alone. A number of individual clubs and associations and personalities are taking a cue from the ODU to contribute to the all-round development of OFFA. This is like what you are doing. Some recent examples include the way all of OFFA granted sons and daughters of OFFA after the unfortunate armed siege of the town in 2018, and that resulted in the construction of mobile police barracks. They mobilized 100 people, contributed 100 naira. People contributed 100,000. People contributed millions, but they rallied everybody. Another worthy example is construction and equipping a tertiary health facility by our metropolitan law in recent times. I wish to humbly observe that a recent observation that chieftaincy title is no longer cheap. Is in bad taste. They said, those who said that today cheap enough and now is no longer cheap. Meaning that you must have money to do it. When I was giving chieftaincy title, I did not offer a kobo. In fact, when in 2009, when I went to thank the then Olofa, I stayed, because I didn't know what to do, I stayed at the junction of Olofa's Palace. Any of my friends passing, I got there at 2 o'clock. I have a phone for where are you going? Please, can you spare my days? Pack. I gather people. We did not spend the call. So it is in bad taste to now see chieftaincy title of Ghana is no longer cheap. It says wrong signal. It may alienate black people away. Those who are not materially endowed from contributing their quota to the development of the town. In the same way, as part of the celebration of ODU at Leti, some people and organizations are recognized as deserving to be honored, which is wonderful, which is very good. However, the letter conveyed the information to the proposed honorees carry bank account numbers of ODU soliciting for donation from them. To my mind, there should have been 2 separate things: conveyance of honor to the awarded One. Two, appeal for donation to the towns, whether you are honored or not, you are from OFFA, contribute. But the fact that the letter convey, you will be honored tomorrow, see account number, see what you want to do. It is a practice. And send wrong signal to those who are not materially endowed. To my mind, there should have been two separate events. Conveyance of honor, like the people we are honoring to do. Tonight, give them Galaxy CLIQUE. See our Àkànjí. We are honoring you. You are no longer honoring them. You are doing bazaar. Conveyance also to support the project identified and was the case during the construction of Dubai police fire. As it is, it appears as if the award were on bazaar. You know bazaar? I will pay 20 naira for this. Hey, I will pay 30 naira. Right from the period when ODU started mobilizing for development projects, it is not only moneyed indigenous that contributed. I'm not saying it is wrong to have money, but if you want to mobilize a community, you don't base it on the state of money. It's not only money indigenous that contributed when OFFA started. There were and still are various ways people can contribute to development. Recommendations. I have small short, few recommendations from arising from above. I have 2 minutes more. Arising from above, I only wish to recommend as follows. Number one, there should be establishment of a scholarship board whose function will be to assist payment of exam fees of deserving pupils at senior secondary school level. This is a consideration of organizing team. 2, material wealth should be de-emphasized as a factor of recognition of one's contribution to the town's development. Number 3, the spirit of our forefathers that part of a grammar school, Central Mosque OFFA. Christians and Muslims contributed to Central Mosque. St. Mark's Cathedral, Christians and Muslims contributed to Central Mosque. Oh, the cathedral is coming to our town. The cathedral, I contributed. I'm not a Christian, but cathedral. I will have a cathedral. People contributed. Central Mosque, people, Christian and Muslim contributed. So that spirit should be expanded, should be used for community project, as was used during the Dubai police fire. Will be carried and St. Mark's be reignited so that almost everybody will be carried along to contribute to the town's development on the basis of contribute what you have. Those who have money will so contribute. Those who have organizational ability will so contribute. Those who have other things that may be useful for a particular project will also contribute. See the introduction of membership of Galaxy CLIQUE. People in various areas with various specialties. If you want to take part in any program, you use expertise of your members. You, Commissioner of Police, you are security, do it. You have money, bring money. Number 4, the notion that traditional recognition is only for the rich members of society in terms of money should be emphasized to recognize other forms of contribution. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your attention. While I wish the Galaxy CLIQUE many years to continue contribution to our improvement. Thank you.
Thank you. A standing ovation for our own erudite Prof, distinguished scholar, Professor Emeritus Àkànjí. Thank you very much. Thank you for this thought-provoking lecture. We thank you, we thank you, we thank you. Yes, we cannot do better. Thank you for this standing ovation. Thank you, Prof, for this very, very in-depth research on the educational background, pursuits, and the future, how we can gets to the promised land in OFFA. Thank you, sir. I am not a moderator, so I'm not even qualified to do a revamping of his presentation. But I'm sure that everybody that is here has taken a lot from his lecture today. Have you heard one? Gbogbo wa la rí mú lọlé, a lè rí pé wíwá ta wá síbí lónìí. It is worthwhile. But thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been inundated with the names of dignitaries that have come into our midst while our distinguished emeritus professor was delivering his lecture. Permit me, ladies and gentlemen, to recognize in our midst our own brother, one of our pride too, that has been working in Joint Admission Matriculation Board for a long time. And today is a director in JAMB at the national headquarters. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce Alhaji Gani Bisi Abdurrahim. Where is he? Okay, I think he stepped out. Like to recognize Alhaji Tajuddin Lawal, the commander in charge of operations, Nigerian Drug Law Enforcement Agency at the state headquarters. Thank you for coming. Again, I have Alhaji Teslim Latif, a lecturer at Federal Polytechnic OFFA. Again, the chairman of CLIQUE Club is here in our midst, Alhaji Gafaru Dere Ekabo, Oshirunte Yewasi. Egunla ti ń kẹ́yìn ìgbàlẹ̀ nínú àwọn tí mo fẹ́ introduce. A man who has seated gently here and who walked into our midst, almost unnoticeable, is our own brother, a distinguished, learned fellow and colleague. That is how they say it. Ladies and gentlemen, we have in our midst the senior advocate of Nigeria. I have my brother, distinguished brother, Solani Oladipo. Please, can we give him a round of applause? It's not easy to have a son in your midst here. They have gotten to the peak of their, profession. You can see when I said he walked in almost unassuming. That is Barrister Tolani Oladipo, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, the day is fast paced. We are supposed to be on item 7, questions and answers. I don't know if we can take just 1 or 2 or comments, as the case may be. Maybe we should just take 2 because of time, please. Àtọ̀gbìn pípí ilé mi pé tá a bá fẹ́ sọ èdè wa, èdè abílẹ̀ náà là ń sọ ní àdàpọ̀ ní. So let me call on the distinguished son to make his contribution. We just have 2 minutes. You can come here. Yes.
Ẹ kú jòkó, ẹ kú ókè ká sáré báyìí. Prof, ẹ kú iṣẹ́ takuntakun ẹ̀sìn lórí to develop that type of write-up to take a lot of. So there is something you said along the line which caught my attention and I thought I should talk about. Bàbá tèmi àgùnbẹ̀rẹ̀ wọ́n ọmọ ọlọ́yà ni àbúrò wọn tó bí Àkànjí Muhammadu Tọ́lá ní agbègbà ni wọn ó kọ wọn Ọ̀yá Túndùn ó kọ bàbá tèmi bàbá mi Ọ̀yá lẹ́yìn. So it is, with all due respect, wrong to assume that it was only Muslims that do not want their children to be educated. Bàbá tèmi ní 1919 làwọn bẹ̀rẹ̀ iṣẹ́ rélùwé. Ọ̀gá àwọn ló bá wọn ní àdọ̀bálẹ̀ kọ torí báwọn lè kà ó bá jẹ́ gbogbo ọmọ àbúrò àwọn àti ọmọ tó ń bí òun kó wọn sọ́dọ̀ nínú iná. Those who chose to be Christians among them were free to be Christian. There were no inhibitions, and those who remained or chose to be Muslim were free to be Muslim. Incidentally, from his narrative, ìgbà tí mo mọ ẹgbẹ́ ọlọ́wà láti mọ Tọ́lání tó fẹ́ fẹ́ àáfà Muhammadu Roro, there was an initial opposition pé ò ní fẹ́ àáfà àfitọ́ bá fẹ́ ọlọ́yà tí mo ti fà ọ́ lẹ̀ fún tẹ́lẹ̀. So ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ jẹ́ ká get in the streets. Traditional religions were in existence. Christianity was finding its foot. Islam was also finding its foot as at 1919 up to 1923. Secondly, sir, as for police barracks, and I'm sorry if anybody will feel offended there. Uber police barrack was drawn up or based on emotional activity, and a lot of us contributed because of emotional passion, because we felt incensed. But possibility in part everyone will. Perhaps there's no memorandum of understanding between us and the police authority. Any place they have to make it one way. If anybody should strike that place, you can easily escape or you can easily barricade the place. Hence the abandonment of the barracks. Because security-wise,
our security experts. So also, this is the meaning wípé tẹ́ ẹ bá involve èèyàn bí wọ́n ṣe involve àwọn èèyàn nígbà barak things ló ṣe. Then the first one person first of all this is meaning torí grandfather yìí ó ṣiṣẹ́ pẹ̀lú railway náà fi mọ value education ṣùgbọ́n wọn ará àgbòrò torí wọn fẹ́ kí wọ́n change ọmọ wọn lẹ́sìn it's not only here but a ní gómìnà náà sọ pé ẹ̀rí ẹjọ́ tó ń tẹ̀rù kọ ẹ̀gbìn ọ̀jẹ̀ náà fọdún orúkọ wo ló tún fight bẹ́ẹ̀ tó sì di Christian wọ́n sì ní change. So thesis ni wípé àwọn tí àwọn aráàlú tó yẹ kí wọ́n pé school yẹn dá wọn lọ sáà nígbà tí wọ́n wà lórí bẹ́ẹ̀ as HSC òru làwọn kí wọn tẹ́lá ti fi àwọn zuri títí alẹ́ òru ni so tó bá jẹ́ pé àpá àgbà wà ní orílẹ̀-èdè náà tàbí sábà wà pé wọ́n lọ sí ìwọ̀n bẹ́ẹ̀ so thesis ni in fact irú grandmother yìí yẹn torí lẹ́nu wéè tí wọ́n bá ṣiṣẹ́ ọmọ lẹ́nu wéè náà lọ sukùl yìí wọ́n sì mọ̀ pé lọ́la ọ̀la dáa fún wọn ju àwọn tí wọn ò ní lọ bóyá ẹ̀yọ́ mọ̀ ẹ̀yọ́ mọ̀ lọ. I think you supported my thesis. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. That is the response from the Emeritus Prof. Now we have the chairman's remark, and the day is past spent. I'll just call on Honorable Jariola to quickly give a remark. Let's give him a round of applause as he comes to
the guest speaker, our own dear own Emeritus Professor Àkànjí. All other protocols will be observed. I'm not going to waste your time. It's unfortunate that Chief Alhaji Ayotundelaji will not be here in person. There's a program going on at the palace, and he has asked me to send his congratulatory message to the organizers of this worthy program of event for today. I am Thomas Jare Olatono, bàbá tèmi ìsàlẹ̀ àgbọ̀nì nílé gbẹ́nà. Ìyá bàbá tèmi ló wá láti ilé Ọlálémi. There are certain things tí màá fẹ́ kó wà off because wọ́n wò wá.
Ṣé ká mú kó báyìí?
Mo fẹ́ bẹ ẹ̀yin àgbà àti ẹ̀yin tẹ́ mòye àti ẹ̀yin tí Ọlọ́run fi iṣẹ́ ìlú ìran láti tó ṣe láti tàgé. Ọ̀fà ń bàjẹ́ ó dẹ̀ nídìí àtúnṣe. So what Galaxy CLIQUE is doing today is worthy of emulation. It is timely, it is of priority, and the pedigree to which this will achieve will go far. It was not supposed to be the responsibilities of Galaxy. I give kudos to you. Àwọn tó lè nílò ẹ kó ṣe é. But if people are shying away from their responsibilities and were able to get a club that will be able to do this kind of a thing for the future of our children, of our world, we should appreciate you. Adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín lórúkọ ọdún yìí. A society without sound education will not grow and develop. That's why it is often said, try ignorance and you see the effect. Níbi tó fà dé lónìí, torí native intelligence táwọn bàbá wa ní onìkan tá a máa achieve lónìí. Ó fẹ́ lè mọ̀ sí nǹkan tuntun tá a gbé wọ̀ mọ́. I'm not here to make negative criticisms. Bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn bá ṣe ń lọ, wọ́n lè là ṣe ń sọ̀kò ẹ̀. Àwọn courses kọ̀ọ̀kan wà tí ò yẹ kó ọmọ wọ́n ṣe mọ́ tàbí tí ò yẹ kí wọ́n gbé priority lé lórí mọ́, otherwise they be going for white collar job. And that opportunity is no longer there. We should rather go for professionalism. Courses that will make our children to be able to stand on their own without any government job. But I'm not going to make mention of any profession in any of the colleges of education, polytechnic or university. So it now falls on we the parents to go back home, carry àwọn tó bá yẹ carry, select our courses tó yẹ káwọn ọmọ wa mú ọ̀la àwọn ọmọ wa yóò dára. And that's why we see a lot of our children roaming about the street. Mo fẹ́ bẹ̀ wá ẹ jẹ́ ká múra sí ọ̀la àwọn ọmọ wa. Wèrè ó pọ̀, wèrè lẹ̀ tí ń wà ní títì lọ́fà. Àwọn ọmọ òrẹ́dì láti kàwé mọ́. Ilẹ̀ tí babalábàbá wọn ti tà tàbí tí wọ́n fún àwọn kan, wọ́n pè ìdílé ní kó padà wá kó wá sanwó torí ọ̀lẹ. And we are watching. No decorum. Àwọn baálé ilé ní ìjọba àwọn ni wọ́n tún rán wọn síta with respect and with humility, free of prejudice. Wọ́n rán ọmọ jáde ẹ̀lọ́ balẹ̀ yẹn. Ọmọ mu gbó, ọmọ mu pàyà, ọkùnrin ń dirun. Alhaji Taju Bello that for God's sake, the first vice president of the ODU National, ẹ bá mi pàdé ọkùnrin ẹ̀ náà. We went into partnership arresting àwọn ọmọ when I was the TIC chairman. Tó o bá di ọlọ́pàá ọ̀daràn, tó o bá sáàdì ṣòkòtò ọ̀daràn wọn ní jáde gbogbo. Ṣáàwó ìlú wa lẹ́nu káwọn ọmọ wa gbọ́ ya wèrè ni. Àwọn ọ̀dà wa nìyẹn. So if Galaxy is not doing what you are doing today, àwọn ọmọ wọ̀nyí ẹ̀ ń tún ọ̀la wọn ṣe ni. And I hope that they will reason and be able to give back. Tó bá dọ̀la, ẹ̀ ṣòrire, ẹ̀ yàn ẹ̀ yànjú. Ẹ wúlò fúnra yín, ẹ wúlò fóbi, ẹ sì wúlò fóògùn ọ̀fà àdúgbò Nàìjíríà lápapọ̀. Ibi tí ẹ̀yin Galaxy ti mówó kò ní dí o, wọn kì í sọmọ yín o. Òye tẹ̀ ń ṣe lónìí ẹ̀san wà lórí àwọn ọmọ tí yín. Orí olórí lẹ̀ ń fa lẹ̀ ń tún ṣe. Àwọn kan náà wà tí wọ́n tún ti ọmọ tí yín náà ṣe. And the good Lord will make it so. Brother wa sọ̀rọ̀ security. Wọ́n mú àwọn ọmọ cultists, àwọn thugs to be involved in the security arrangement of OFFA. How do we reconcile that? And people are aware and they are keeping quiet. Táwọn ọmọ wọ̀nyí ò bá ṣe dáadáa ní school ẹ̀ ní rí wọn sílẹ̀tì, wọ́n ṣe dáadáa ni. Tá a bá yẹ Galaxy ká yẹ àwọn ọmọ tó ṣe dáadáa tí ìrànlọ́wọ́ owó fi fẹ́ bọ́ sọ́wọ́ wọn. A dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ àwọn òbí tó rán wọn ní school ẹ̀ fi lè select wọn. If they were not found in their respective schools, they wouldn't have been selected today. Àwọn òbí ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣọ́ra. Bàbá ń bọ́ ọmọ wí, ìyá ń fa wa bẹ́ ọmọ yìí ní sórí ìlú. Ọwọ́ méjì ló bímọ, ọwọ́ méjèèjì ló gbọ́dọ̀ bá ọmọ wí. Late Chief Adesoye sọ fún mi, wọ́n ní jàre oníṣà, ta ni máa jèrè ọmọ lébi ọmọ o. Wọ́n ní tọkùnrin bá fẹ́ jèrè ọmọ tó o bá sí nílé tí ọmọ ṣẹ̀ tàbí ẹ̀kú bọ́ máa wí. Ìyá yóò wà ní bàbá rẹ̀ fẹ́ dé. Ìyá burúkú tí o fẹ́ jèrè ọmọ nìyẹn. Tí bàbá bá ní bàbá tí ò ní làákàyè wà mú ẹ̀bà yóò máa ná ọmọ. Wọ́n ní bàbá yóò ní jèrè ọmọ. We will see you as a parent. Ọwọ́ wa dá ọmọ yẹn padà sọ́dọ̀ ìyá rẹ̀ kó kọ́ ọmọ yẹn wí. Ọmọ wa padà wá ìwọ gangan ló tún wá bá wí. Tọ́lọ́ láti mọ̀ pé ní àti the two arrows ló ti ní ìyá yóò ṣe kó ṣe kóde. Today should not be a long speech making day. But I thank God for the opportunity afforded me to be able to say one or two things. And I have no regret whatsoever coming down here. So ẹ jọ àwọn tó bá yẹ kó orí àwọn àgbààgbà tó yẹ nínú ìlú ẹ̀jẹ̀ ká gbé ìgbésẹ̀ kó mọ̀ ìgbé tá a bá ti kọjá tá a parí níbi kó parí náà nìyẹn ogún ọ̀fà ọlọ́jẹ̀ ojú ọmọ ìbúyọ̀. Finally láti jẹ́ kó mọ̀ pé ọ̀fọ̀ ní problem drone kan ó crash at about 10 p.m. lálẹ́ àná ó hit ilé kan very close to the end praying ground yìí sitting room lẹ́yìn ló wọ̀ one story building ó crash ó tún lift ó lọ lẹ́kẹ̀jì ó bàjẹ́ díẹ̀ ó gbéra ó lọ ẹgbẹ́ solid world lọ́nà Adeleke Lamadi area ó bàjẹ́ díẹ̀ because our people have no value for their lives wọ́n dẹ̀ lọ síbẹ̀ wọ́n fọwọ́ kan wọ́n fi God be that glory with the final crash yẹn dé ní. I'm not the chief security officer of the company, but because of our commitment and our love for the security of this community, we found out from our public quarters no cause for alarm. Friendly surveillance drone name. It was not targeted towards OFFA or crash landing. Ẹ jẹ́ kí a sọ fún àwọn wa ká mọ information tá a mọ̀ pé because àwọn yẹn wà fearful these days. Ó mọ̀ nípa àwọn olówó àwọn kẹ́rù owó lọ́fà àwọn bá ní ìsìn ọ̀fọ̀ níbàjẹ́ wa. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Jabir. Ẹ dákun ẹ tún bá àwọn alákẹ́wọ́ kan sí. I am glad that you spoke, and your message, I have no doubt in my mind that is well entrenched. Thank you very much. Àgbà òní tán lórí rẹ̀. Ẹ lábẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀, èmi gan ti fẹ́ fi tó ilé ti pé chairman of our local government bí tí mo jókòó náà nìyẹn tó ti pè mí. Torí àárín tí ẹ̀ níbi ìtẹ́lẹ̀ wọ́n lóun wà pẹ̀lú commissioner of police pé torí ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ tí Honorable Jare Ọlátúndùn sọ nísìnyí pé wọ́n láti sáré lọ sí Ìlọrin káwọn lọ jókòó security meeting, and that's why he was absent in this event. Lọ́rọ̀ àjọ wà títí aago mẹ́sàn-án lálẹ́ àná. That suffices for that. Let me recognize the presence of my brother, Àkànjí, Chief Àkànjí of OFFA. Ingo? Oh, ṣé Àkànjí ni? Wọ́n ṣe ẹni kọ́yìn nìkan. Oh, I used to think because it's a lecturer, it is Àkànjí. Okay. My own brother, no other person other than the ODU home branch president. But that means Larry Shitu. Please can you stand up for recognition? Thank you. Another very distinguished personality here, ladies and gentlemen, the chairman of today's occasion. Permit me to introduce to you the representative of the ODU National President, Alhaji Tajuddin Bello. Is he here? He's wearing two caps. He is here to represent. As a matter of fact, you should just walk to the high table. Yes. I don't know. Who are the ushers? Please help me walk into the high table. He is representing the national president of ODU. Ever miss one walk to the high table? Thank you for coming. Ladies and gentlemen, we have gotten to the stage of awards, and I would love to quickly call on the Emeritus Professor to stand up for recognition as I read the citation for a distinguished award. Ladies and gentlemen, Professor Musbao Àkànjí was born 75 years ago in OFFA, Kwara State. He attended St. Mark's Anglican Primary School, OFFA, between 1958 and 1964. OFFA Grammar School, between 1965 and 1969. Olivet Baptist High School, Oyo, 1970 to 1971. University of Ibadan, 1972 to 1975. And University of Ife, now Obafemi Awolowo University, between 1979 to 1981, and then 1983 to 1986. Distinguished Professor Musba Àkànjí attained BSc, MSc, and PhD degrees in 1975, 1982, and PhD in 1986 respectively, all in biochemistry. Can we give him a round of applause? He has worked in several places, including Initial Grammar School, Initial, Osun State, between January and September 1972. Editon High School, Port Harcourt, River State. He was there as an NYSC member, 1975 to 1976. Baptist Grammar School, Ibadan, Kwara State, 1976 to 1977. He later joined the services of Nigerian Institute of Trypanosomiasis Research, VOM, Plateau State, as a research biochemist, grade 2, in April 1977, and rose to the position of senior research biochemist and head of division in 1981, before transferring from the institute to join the services of the University of Ilorin as a grade 1 in September 1986 lecturer. He rose through the ranks to the position of professor of biochemistry in October 1993. Emeritus Professor Musba Àkànjí retired from the services of the University of Ilorin in January 2021 after attaining the mandatory age of 70 years. During his service at the university, he held several administrative positions, including those of sub-dean of faculty, acting head of department, chairman University Admissions Committee, director of General Studies, dean of Student Affairs, director of Central Research Laboratory, director of Academic Planning, and several others. He served on several committees at all levels as chairman or member. He had mentored several master's degree graduates and 24 doctoral graduates, out of which 18 of them are professors in various universities. Professor Àkànjí is a member of Nigerian delegation on UNESCO mission to Paris in 2010 to attend a workshop on strengthening capacities in science and technology, policy and management. He was the pioneer vice chancellor of Al-Hikmah University, Ilorin, Kwara State, between 2005 and 2008, and was later served as vice chancellor of Federal University of Technology, Minna, Niger State, between 2012 and 2017. He also served on the governing council of Al-Hikmah University, Ilorin, between 2018 and 2022. Emeritus Professor Àkànjí has served at managerial level in several Nigerian universities, including those owned by federal and state governments, as well as private organizations. He has attended several training programs on management of higher education in virtually all continents of the world. Ladies and gentlemen, Professor Musba Àkànjí has been taking part in the National University Commission's program accreditation exercise from 1995 mostly as chairman of panels. He also served as chairman of the only institutional accreditation program organized by Nigerian University Commission in 2009. He had served as external assessors for professional appointment across several universities. He had also participated as external examiner at all levels of degree programs, including basic, medical, bachelor, master's, and doctorate degree programs. He was the chairman of science discipline in the recently concluded re-engineering of undergraduate curriculum in Nigerian University and served concurrently as chairman of biochemistry program, core curriculum minimum academic standards. He was also a member of National Research and Development Standing Committee of the Tertiary Education Trust Fund, TED Fund, that puts together a draft of the framework for the establishment of National Research Foundation. Professor Musa Àkànjí has been very active in the formation of Association of West African Universities and served as its financial secretary between 2016 and 2019. He is a fellow of Nigerian Society of Biochemistry and Molecular Biology. He is also a fellow of Nigerian Society of Experimental Biology and the prestigious Nigeria Academy of Science, where he is currently a member of council. He is also an honorary fellow of the Nigerian Institution of Mechanical Engineers. He was appointed an emeritus professor of biochemistry by the Senate of the University of Ilorin in February 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, Professor Musa Àkànjí's hobbies include trekking, footballing, watching both live football and those on the screen. He likes to listen to current affairs. He likes to travel and meeting people. Professor Àkànjí is happily married and blessed with children and grandchildren. We have the pleasure of inviting the chairman of CLIQUE OFFA to do the presentation of this award. Yes.
Sincerely appreciate our Professor Emeritus Àkànjí. You are an instruction to us. We try to do students looking at you. I'm sure by the time they go back to their school today, they say they met somebody that has things and to change their life. Thank you for coming. We appreciate your blessing. See you again next time. The award is the recognition of your selfless service to the fatherland of our.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I want not to wear that one. Ladies and gentlemen, àti dé ibi tí olóògùn ti ń sàrà ẹni tó kàn tí a fẹ́ fún ní award nísìnyí àwọn bàbá wa ní ẹni ojú ni wọ́n yìí ṣe àìmọ̀fólógó. I don't know if we will seek the indulgence of the chairman of today to allow him to be on the seat while I read his citation. Bàbá wa Alhaji Abdulkareem Abẹ́fẹ́ Oyèkúnmi ní Arúgbóṣayé. Ẹ bá fún wọn látẹ̀wọ́nú. Láti gba ìyọ̀ǹda ọlọ́jà wa náà dàgbà. A lot of people have passed through him, like I said, and it is in the commonsensical knowledge of Galaxy CLIQUE that we have combed, like I said, the nooks and crannies of OFFA, and we have carefully, and I use that word again, recognize his indefatigable role in the pursuance of academic knowledge and discipline for a lot of our students, indigents, and others. Ladies and gentlemen, Alhaji Abẹ́fẹ́ Oyèkúnmi was born in Ghana on the 18th of January 1941 during the Second World War. His father, Baba Abubakar Àkànjí Aroshaye from Ilé Adifa family in Isaliagbo, was the only surviving son of his mother, Princess Oyebola Aroshaye, who was the daughter of Oyedipe, the great-grandson of Olúgbèsè, who ruled OFFA from 1726 to 1786. His mother, Mama Asanutu Àkànjí Aroshaye, was the second daughter of Baba Aroyewu from Ilé Abu and Ilé Elemoso in the Ogun area. Our own mother too was related to Ilé Gedegbe. Our father was Baba Jimon Ati. Both of them migrated to Ghana, the then Gold Coast, in the early 1930s, where all the children were born. While his father was working as a cocoa buyer under Mr. Cole from Ire in Osun State, who was also under the United African Company, UAC. His mother was a pretty trader and had a small shop in front of their rented room. Sometimes she went from village to village to sell her wares. At about 8 years old, in 1948, he started attending Arabic school, or Makaranta, where he started the memorization of the Quran. Having spent 2 years in the Arabic school, he forced his father to allow him to start elementary school in 1950. He was then enrolled as a pupil at English Church Mission School, which later became Anglican School in Adeso, a town 33 miles from Accra. 4 years later, a turn in fortune wheel made his father to leave Adeso in eastern region of Ghana to settle in another town called Ofuasi, about 40 miles to Kumasi in Ashanti region. Having completed his standard 3 course at Presbyterian Primary School at Ofuasi, he was admitted to Government Middle School, Juasu, where he completed his middle Form 4 in 1958. In 1959, he was admitted to Konongo Odumasi Secondary School, where he completed in 1963, and he was immediately admitted to St. John's School Secondary for his 6th form course, which he completed in 1965. He entered the University of Ghana in 1966. Can we give him a round? And he completed the university education in 1969, graduated with BA Honors in History. Between 1976 and 1977, he was an Ahmadu Bello University Zaria, where he did his postgraduate diploma in education. He represented the University of Ghana in the West African University Games that took place in Furabe, Sierra Leone in 1969. He was a good volleyball and athletic, and he loved sports. Alhaji Aro Shaye has worked far and wide. He talks Latin, English language, English literature, and history in all schools where he had worked